I haven't posted in so long, I decided that I wanted to show you guys my portable game console collection. The reason why is because, well, it's kind of been a while since I've done really anything, and I've never showed you guys my collection. And it's grown a little since the last video I've done, so I'd like to show it off to you guys. And no, it's not normally this empty on my shelf. I just separated everything that isn't games and cases, because they're basically the platforms for everything on this shelf. So yeah, let's get to it. So let's start with PSP games. We have, let's see here, 10 games it looks like. So I'm not going to explain all of them because I just got these as hand-me-downs and used games. So there's literally no story to any of them, so yeah. But we got Hot Shots Golf, Open T, Need for Speed Shift, Silent Hill Origins, Prince of Persia Revelations. Let's turn this real quick. I hope you guys can see this properly. SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, which actually, I lied. I think there is a story to this one. So I got this game at Tali's, and it didn't come with the game it showed on the box. It came with Star Wars 2 instead of Star Wars 3. So, yeah, that happened. Again, I got the game at a thrift store, so what do you expect, right? Of course you're not going to get the right game. It's a used game from a thrift store. And there go my games. I love sorting that end of the PSP collection, especially since it literally leads to their doom. But anyway, we also have, if we turn this back sideways, we also have Madden NFL 10, Tony Hawk's Project 8, which has the sticker on it still for some reason. We got Namco Museum, Battle Collection, and MVP Baseball, which also has a sticker on it still. But yeah, that was my PSP collection. Only one really needing explanation. So yeah. So next, let's go down here to this collection here, my 3DS/DS collection. As you can see, my 3DS collection is very small. And yeah, it's only really small because it's hard to get these games nowadays. And this is the collection I've amassed over the past, 7 years of owning a 3DS. So yeah, so first we got Smash Bros. Here. Yeah, pretty common game if you ask me. A lot of people have Smash Bros. For this thing. Then we got New Super Mario Bros. 2. This is well, it comes in a red case. I thought it was Player's Choice, but it's not. Then we got Pokemon Omega Ruby, which is honestly one of my rarest games, and you want to know how much I paid it? Like $7. Paid it $7, brand new. This is an original copy that I purchased, and I got it for like $7. I got it on Boxing Day at Shoppers Drug Mart. If you live here in Canada, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I got it here in Canada at Shoppers Drug Mart during Boxing Day of 2020. They were clearing a bunch of games, and that was one of them, so I picked that up. And then we got my first ever cartridge game, which is Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. Pretty explainable. I love Skylanders. I love the 3DS. Boom, you got Skylanders for the 3DS. Then Super Mario 3D Land. Again, no explanation needed. This one is a pure classic. And finally, Tomodachi Life. This one is literally my favorite game. In my opinion, it's the best game on the 3DS. There's a lot of good games on the 3DS, but that is the best one in my opinion. And then let's look at the DS collection briefly. I'm not gonna look at all the games because there's a lot of games in my DS collection, but let's just look at it briefly. So I'm just gonna mention a couple of the ones that are really notable, and then we'll move on to the loose games and everything else. So let's start with Avatar. I know that on the Wii, this game is pretty well rated. I haven't even tried the DS version, but I'm gonna assume it's a downgraded version of the Wii game. Then here are my only two actually good games. Mario Kart and Nintendogs. I actually think I have 2 versions of Nintendogs. Okay, hold on a sec. I was right. I store them together because it saves me the hassle of trying to find the other game. But yeah, we got Nintendogs. Which version is that? Let's see. This is Nintendogs Dachshund and Friends. And then I think this one is the Chihuahua and Friends. Yeah, it's Chihuahua and Friends. Yeah. Please don't mind the awkward camera angle we're in right now. I'm just putting the game back. Oh god, my only decoration for this shelf is falling over. There you go. Oh, and also, yes, if you're wondering, these are Mega Construx Pokeballs, and they are Series 1. I got these all on clearance for like $2 or $3 each. And I built them and just put them away, and then I'm like, these would make a good decoration for my handheld shelf. So yeah, I put them here. Another notable one, I was surprised how good this Penguins of Madagascar game actually was. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be garbage, but it's actually pretty good. But yeah. And then we got this side here, which is like the more AAA titles. I'm sorry, again, for the weird camera angles. But yeah, these 4 titles on the end are like the AAA third-party games. We got Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I don't know which year this was, this one here. Here, let me check. Okay, that one is Beijing 2008. And then this one, I'm pretty sure, is 2010. Let's see, which one is it? It's Vancouver 2010. For the Winter Games. And then Sims 2 Pets, which I only recently got, believe it or not. Which, by the way, speaking of which, I got both Mario Kart DS and Sims 2 Pets, along with a bunch of other games I already had, or didn't want, for like $5. Like, all of them I got for $5. The person I bought those from also had Mystery Dungeon, which sadly I missed because someone bought it before me, and it kind of sucks because it would have been nice to have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because it's a very pricey game. But I was happy about copying Mario Kart DS because Mario Kart DS is literally like a $20 game with the manual, and I copped it for $5, so I'm pretty happy about that. And The Sims 2, I haven't even tried it yet, but I mean, hey, it's The Sims, so why not? But yeah, that's about all I have to say. Actually, one more thing, I think Wheel of Fortune, I think the game isn't in there, but I just have the case, so I leave it on my shelf anyway. I was going to use it for a future video that I was going to call Game Show Games. It was going to be, the 6th episode in the Blokes Not Average Game Reviews series that I was doing on my other channel, but I haven't made a video on there since I showed off my edited Inkling plush, which I honestly should have showed off here. But yeah, go watch that if you want. It's there. And then, well, yeah, actually, that's it for the shelf, so let's go to the loose games next. Okay, so as you can see, for loose games, we got some Game Boy games here, and then all my other loose games in this little baggie. So, let's do a thing called dumping the whole baggie. Okay. That's a lot of games. Alright, let me sort these by console, and so for loose games, we got all of this, so let me go through them one by one. So we got Happy Feet 2. This game sucks, I hate it. New Super Mario Bros. Obviously a classic, I love this. Then we got, can you see that even? Here. SpongeBob's Boating Bash, which I saw it was SpongeBob, and I'm like, okay, I'm copying that. Okay, so then, yeah, I mean, it's a decent game. It's not, like, amazing, blow you away kind of game, but it's a game. And here we got Napoleon Dynamite, the game, which is another terrible game. I only have it because why not? Then we got Lego Battles, which it's a good game. I'm just not into the type of game this is. It's kind of like a world-building game, kind of like My Singing Monsters, except it's like, it's different. It's similar, but different at the same time. Then we got Meet the Robinsons. I really enjoyed the movie, which is the only reason why I have this game. I haven't played much of it, but from what I remember, it's okay. And then we got Spectrobes. This is like an underrated gem. Spectrobes, I don't even know if this is like a show or something, or if this was just like a Pokemon clone that Disney made. But this is made by Disney Interactive, and it's an entire series of games, for the Wii and DS. But I have this game and then one on the Wii. But yeah, surprisingly, Spectrobes is pretty good. Then we got, Family Feud. Again, only have it for the memes, the memes. Then the Sonic Classic Collection. This is how I was playing the Genesis games before I started actually collecting the Genesis. But yeah, it's pretty solid. It has save states. They have the Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which lets you play the whole game in one, which is pretty cool. They even have Sonic 2 and Knuckles. If you guys don't know, that's when you lock Sonic 2 onto Sonic 3. Or no, onto Sonic and Knuckles. And it adds Knuckles as a playable character. So yeah, surprisingly, they have 6 games on there. They have Sonic 2 and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They have Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3, Sonic 2, and the original Sonic game. Okay, moving on. We got Crush 3D. I found the demo for this like a long time ago, and I thought it was really cool, so I got this game for $10 loose. And it's a really fun game. It's made by Sega, so of course it's a great game. You guys should check it out. It's very fun. And finally, here for the loose ones that aren't in these little case thingies, we have Pokemon Y. It's another one of those games that I have that's valuable, because even as a loose copy, this game is now worth like 40 or 50 bucks, which is kind of nuts how Pokemon games ramp up in price like that. This game's only been out since 2013, 9 years, and is already worth that much, which is pretty nuts. Okay, then before we move on to those cased games, let's move on to the PSP, because there's only like 4 games. Okay, so we have Twisted Metal, Head-On, Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. This is like the best game I have for my PSP. I also have, like, because for some reason my PSP's modded. I never modded it. I just got it modded, and I didn't even know till now that it was modded because I got it as a kid. Anyway, but it was modded and it had GTA Vice City Stories on it. So yeah, that's one of my better games. Then we got Tiger Woods PGA Tour 09 with like a sticker mark on it. I hate golf games. It probably sucks. I had never played it. And then we got Snoopy and the Red Baron. And it's one of those games that I played as a kid, but I haven't played much recently. Okay, so let's go to this lantern here to check the games. You know what? No, never mind. Let's just open them up and see. Oh, also what I like, since these are DSi game cases, it has a spot for an SD card, which is pretty neat. So we got Pirates of the Caribbean. Or no, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Then we got... what's this one? Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I haven't played much of this game. But from what I've played, it's pretty good, actually. Then what do we got in here? Thrillville Off the Rails. This is like the downgraded version of Thrillville. I always wanted the Thrillville for the Xbox 360, so that's the only reason why I have that game. Because I thought it was the same. We got Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. I've also played a bit of this. It's alright. Again, another just decent, but not amazing, like, blow your mind kind of games. Okay, so... Oh, and one more thing before we move on to the Game Boy stuff. I have an incomplete set of AR cards here that I'm going to print the ones that I don't have. I actually lost those ones. I don't know how, but the ones I lost are Mario and the question block. But I lost them somehow, and I haven't found them since. So I'm gonna have to print new ones on paper. Maybe I'll laminate them so they don't get damaged, but yeah. Okay, let's start with GBA. We got Spider-Man 2. This one's actually not half bad. I got it with a complete save file, so it has like cheat codes and level select and stuff, so it's pretty fun. Then we got Monster Truck Madness. I know one of these two racing games was like trying to emulate 3D, which I thought was crazy for the technology, and I still do. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, these two racing games, they're both fun. I think it was Monster Truck Madness that was trying to be 3D, and then this one was just a first-person racing game. But yeah, they're both pretty good. And then we got Tournament Paintball, which was also trying to do that 3D thing, but it did it so bad you can barely control the game, so that one sucks. Okay, so finally, let's move on to the Game Boy. We'll start with the ones that aren't in cases. So we got Tetris. I don't know a single Game Boy owner who doesn't own Tetris. NFL Quarterback Club 2, made by... I'm sure you can recognize the logo if you know AVGN. Yeah, LJN. The worst game publishers ever. They choose like the crappiest studios to publish. And then we have the Super 32-in-1 GB cartridge. It just has 32 like games on it. I know like 2 games on here are Super Mario Land and Dr. Mario, but those are like the only 2 legit games I found. But yeah, there's like 30 fake or reskinned games on here, and then like 2 legitimate ones. And then there's Wheel of Fortune. If you've seen my TikTok account, I actually cleaned this with isopropyl alcohol. It was all full of like battery acid, because it was stored with old batteries for years, so I cleaned the battery acid off the cartridge. And then finally, Pocket Monsters Gold. The Pokemon Gold from Japan. The only reason why I have this is because my dad was too cheap to pay an extra, like, $4 for a copy of this game, so he went on eBay and bought me one for, like, 16 bucks from Japan. Yeah, it plays in Japan, and it took me forever to get it to work on my thing. I had to, like, put alcohol rub in it, blow in it, shove it in the cartridge slot really hard. I know that sounds weird. It refused to work for the first couple times, but I finally got it to work, and when I did, I was so disappointed. But yeah, I mean, thanks for trying, Dad. It was a good effort. And then finally, we got these 4. These 2 are fake Pokemon games that I got off of Wish, because I couldn't be bothered to spend the outrageous price tag on these games. I just wanted to play them on the original hardware without paying the steep price tag. So we got Pokemon Gold version and Pokemon Blue version, and I know, of course, the labels will look wonky. That's how things work with these. And then we got Donkey Kong Land 3 and Super Mario Land. So, long story short, my first Game Boy was not a Game Boy Advance SP. I wanted a Game Boy Advance so I could play all the games, and I found one in my dad's, in a box in storage, and, like, it worked. It worked. It had the box even. I sold it for way too little, and a collector scooped it up instantly. I feel so stupid for selling it for what I sold it for, but whatever. Yeah, I originally had that Game Boy Advance, and when I realized that the screen wasn't backlit, I was kind of disappointed. So I made my dad sell it, and we sold it for way too little. We did not make a lot of money off of it, even though we could have made more. But then after that, my dad, thinking he was buying me a Game Boy Advance, bought me a banana yellow Game Boy Color that came with Donkey Kong Land 3. And when I resold that banana yellow Game Boy Color, I never actually sold the game with it. Because obviously it's a Game Boy game. I was intending on getting a Game Boy, so I wasn't going to sell the game. So I kept the game. And that's how that happened. And then later I got my Game Boy Advance SP. And then, like, last year, I saved up enough to get a grape Game Boy Color. So yeah. And then finally we got Super Mario Land. This was with, Wheel of Fortune and a second copy of Tetris. In a case with a Game Gear. Which, yes, I do have a Game Gear, but it's broken. I started using it, it was working fine, but thanks to the old age, after, like, a couple of times using it, it busted up instantly. It just doesn't work anymore, and it's kind of sad, because it was working just fine when I found it, and it just stopped working. But yeah, those were all my loose games. So that leaves us with the other part of my collection, which is inbox stuff, consoles, and cases. So let's move on to the consoles, because that should be pretty quick. So I said next would be consoles, and I was right, because here are consoles. So I have 5 loose consoles here. We got my Game Boys, my DS Lites, and my 3DS XL. So we'll start with the DS's, since they're on this side. So we got a black and a burgundy one. So the black one I got secondhand. I mean, it looks amazing. But sadly, the touch sensor on the screen doesn't work properly, because, like, the top 3 rows, or, like, top 5 rows of pixels on this just don't read. So, it's too bad, but it's a nice display piece. And then this is the one I use when I play DS games. Again, another wonky touch sensor on this one. The touch sensor, like, it will read weirdly, like, it doesn't read where you're actually touching. Like, you could touch here, and it'll read, like, over here. If you touch in the middle, it might actually work, but then if you touch over here, it'll read over here. It's kind of weird to explain, but yeah, that's about it. And then, for some reason, this screen is scratched like crazy. I got it like this, and it's kind of disappointing. But whatever, I just wanted a DS Lite when I got it, and I got a DS Lite, so I'm not complaining. Then we got my Game Boy Advance SP, which has another game in it, Backyard Basketball. It's in decent condition. I mean, of course, the sticker here is kind of beefed up, and the same with this one. But aside from that, the console's in great condition. Nothing really to write home about damage-wise. It works, and it looks good. And then we got my Game Boy Color. I also have a game in this one, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. But we got a great Game Boy Color. One thing I do not like about this console is when I got it, the prong here is bent. I've had a battery in it for a while, so it's started to bend back, but I tried bending it back myself, and it just doesn't want to stay, so sadly, you just got to very carefully insert the battery. That's the only reason why I got it for an affordable price. I paid it 60 bucks after negotiating with the guy, just because that battery prong was bent. Or else, you know, the guy was asking like 75 bucks. I might have taken it for that if it weren't for the battery prong. Then finally we got my 3DS. And we got Tomodachi Life in the console. But yeah. Oh. Alright, I forgot I found out that someone was reviving Nintendo Zone. So, I decided to check it out. Maybe I should show it off in a future video. Tell me in the comments if you guys want to see that. But yeah, that's it for consoles, so let's move on to the inbox stuff. Wild stack of gaming stuff has appeared. So yeah, I have 5 in-box items for my portable collection, and I will show you guys every single one of them. So I showed this off on TikTok. It's a almost completely sealed copy of Personal Trainer Walking, but sadly, someone broke the seal on the side. But as you can see, the game is sealed, factory seal and everything, and the manual for the pedometers is in here, the activity meters, and then the 2 activity meters are still in the original case here, which is pretty nuts. They also come with these like little things you put on your shirt or something to hold them up. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's just the seal was broken on the side, so it lost some value, but it's still technically brand new since everything is in perfect shape. The game is sealed. These are basically new. It's crazy. I'm gonna put this back in the box, so hold on a sec. Okay, so yeah, that was Personal Trainer Walking. It's my only game that I have in the box, because it's my only, like, box game. I mean, I have a couple other, like, box editions of games. I have Super Mario Maker, like the original one, and it's extremely beat-up box. And I have Sonic Mania Plus in its original cardboard sleeve, but yeah, that's about it. No other special editions or anything. But yeah, Personal Trainer Walking. It's like the only sealed DS game I have, and I'm proud to say I own a sealed DS game. So I did not realize how damaged this box was. Jeez. Okay, so next, this is a hint at what I'm going to be purchasing next for my portable collection. A new 3DS XL, yeah. So I got this charge station for it. I got it really cheap. So I'm like, you know what, why not? And yeah, it charges the 3DS XL, and that's about it. And there's nothing really else to write home about. It just plugs in. But yeah, I mean the box is in rough shape, but it looks great, and I'm sure it'll be a great accessory. But yeah, the next inbox thing I have, my new 2DS XL, which is another hint at my new purchase. I need money. I need money to get my dream console. I can't just hold on to like a million 3DSs. This is my least favorite one in my collection. It's only useful for this reason. So I am sadly going to be selling this. Which is why it's in the box. I will be making a video all about it once I do get a Nintendo 3DS XL, a new 3DS XL. Once I get the new 3DS XL that I'm gonna get, I'll make a video about it. So yeah. It's going to be a slightly long video. It's gonna start off dramatic, I'm assuming, but then it's just gonna go to me working on the 3DS, I guess. But yeah. There you go. That's one of the 3 console boxes I still have. Then we got the DS Lite. Yeah, another one. No, it is not a box for this DS Lite. This is an entirely different DS Lite. You guys want to see? I'll show you. Check it out. Look. Let's try and take it out. I think I'm gonna have to take the manuals out so I can slip it out. Which, may I add, I think it's kind of funny how they have an entire manual for PictoChat. Okay. In here, there is a console. I am touching a console. I'm not gonna pull it out because it's too hard to put this whole thing back. But yes, this is a console, and proof that it's not a the same console. Here's this one, here's this one. So yeah. Let's put it back in the box. Okay, yeah, but that's my inbox DS Lite. It's complete as well, which is pretty good. And then finally, we have the box for my original 2DS. It's not in here, for a reason I'll explain later, but yeah, it's the original box. It is a little damaged, as you can see. Damage right here, damage right here. Yeah, it's a little beat up, but hey, it was my first 3DS, okay? I got it years ago, what do you want from me? I'm still a kid. One more thing before I move on. I have this thing. This is the 3DS Amiibo Reader Writer. I got this years ago, and it is now worth way too much. It is unbelievably expensive. Sadly, I tossed out the box, or else this would be worth more, but yeah, it is unbelievably expensive to get one of these, so I'm happy I got one when I did. Okay, our second to last stop is portable console cases. We'll start with this one. This is my Nerf 3DS XL case. I don't use it anymore because it's all damaged, and I just don't like how this covers everything about the 3DS. So, yeah, I decided to, take it out of the case, and, you know, it looks good. It looks way better without a case on. Now, of course, these Nerf cases are pretty popular. I'm pretty sure this isn't the only Nerf case. I think they also made one for the original 3DS, the 2DS, and the DS Lite as well. Or no, the DSi, sorry. So yeah, Nerf released 4 different cases in the same lineup. But these cases are pretty popular. They are some of the most durable ones. But yeah. Yeah, that's that one. Okay, next up we have my PSP storage sleeve. I am not willing to look around my house for my PSP, so here's the sleeve, I guess. Is the, oh yeah, it is in there. It comes with a cleaning cloth for the, it came with a cleaning cloth for the screen. I guess that's useful. But yeah, that's that one as well. Then we got my DS Lite carrying case. So it stores up to 6 games in the side. Then, of course, you put the DS in here. And I have all my extra styluses in this case. It also has an extra pouch back here that you can put some stuff in. And it also has like a mini holding pouch. This fake pouch, which has literally no purpose. You can't even fit an extra DS game in there. It literally does nothing. Look, nothing. I can barely put my finger in there. And then there's this thing, which is... I don't know what the point of this is, but it's here. And then this, which is how you hold the thing. I mean, it's pretty cool. And then, finally, we've got this. I use this as a general carrying case when taking things around. I just found this bag in my closet, and I'm like, huh, this would make a good traveling bag for a console. So yeah, I just put the console with the charging cable in the back here. Then I put like games in the front here. And then if I want to bring anything extra, I just put it back here. Normally I put like my phone and my phone charger in the back. And then I put my console with its charger in the front here, and then put the games and like a pair of headphones or something in the front. But yeah, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just a little bag. String there for the bag. But yeah, that was the second to last thing, the cases. So now for the final honorable mention. So remember how I told you I'd tell you why my 2DS wasn't in the box? Well, here's why. So this is my mom's 2DS now. I gave her my 2DS. She ended up buying a case for it, which is pretty sweet, actually. Kind of jealous. But we got Brain Age 2, and Flash Focus in her game collection. These are the only 3 cases she has. And then, let's see here. I'm just opening the cases. A little difficult with one hand. Okay, so in here are all 3 of the games I just mentioned, and then she also has Where's Waldo for some reason, and Purpels. And there's room for more games. She only has 5 in here, but she can store up to 18 games, I think. And then here's the 2DS. It's on, obviously, in sleep mode. And in the back is a charging cord, a fake one, for the 3DS. Yeah. So that's that. And then, yeah, so that's everything, I guess. So let me set back up my shelf so you guys can see it overall, and I'll be back. Well, I took the chance to do a little rearranging because I realized how messy this shelf was. And also my games on this side started falling over instead of these ones. So I rearranged in a way where these games aren't falling anymore. So, yeah. So, right here, we just stacked up all the PSP games again. I didn't move any of the DS games, they're all in the same orientation. But yeah, and this is not normally here, this is normally wherever I last played it. But yeah, we got all this stuff up here. And then, the inbox stuff is down here. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.